Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. As always, it is me, XFL Jim.
Can you smell what the XFL is cooking?
As always, I'm joined by the one, the only. It is the incomparable Erik, a.k.a. Uncle Rico.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
That's the sound I make whenever I get to be on a show with you, buddy.
You know, that makes me feel special. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Shout out Austin. Shout out Blizz in the chat. We're feeling good. The UFL rules were announced. There's been some moves. Erik, we have a couple new quarterback moves that I want you to be privy to. I purposely didn't tell you this pre-show because I thought it'd be fun. So, defenders, Tomu's back.
Like it.
Love that move. Brandon Silver's out at Houston.
No more Hi-Ho Silver?
No, he's on St. Louis now.
Okay. All right.
But that's not the main story. St. Louis, AJ's back.
Back again.
AJ McCarron's back, baby.
How do you feel about
that? That improves their shot a ton.
How do you feel about that?
I love it.
Improves their shot. Do you think, though, he stays the whole season?
I think 100% he stays the whole season.
Really?
I think so. Why wouldn't he?
Gets promoted up? Gets called up?
Do you get called up during... Would that
Because
not be...
So, hypothetically, let's say... Hypothetically, he's with the Battlehawks, and there's a team in OTAs that has an injury and they need someone, I think they would just sign him and they'd leave to go there, right?
So here's the tweet that I saw, Erik.
I mean, that's like worst case scenario. You know what I mean? Like,
fair. Here's what I saw, though. Also, shout out Vince. Yes, we all do love it. Let's go, AJ. QB AJ McCarron asked to be released by the Bengals. Team announced it today, so he can re-sign with the Battlehawks.
Oh, okay. Then he wants.
So he asked to be let go.
Yeah, then he wants to be there.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I think he's there the whole season.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then I think Silvers is actually a really good backup to get. Silvers can get you like one or two good games if AJ McCarron gets hurt.
Yep.
We saw it last year. Silver started out hot with the Roughnecks, kind of faltered at the end, but I think he's good for a couple games. Other news: the Stallions, the goddamn Stallions, Erik, just keep getting hotter and hotter. So they got a new quarterback situation. So not only do they have J.M.R. Smith, who won the league in the first season, not only do they have my Nebraska boy Adrian Martinez, they just picked up Matt Corral.
Corral's an interesting guy. He was really high on some people's draft boards, but just never really got a chance in the league, in the NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of like what happens and where, if he can make something. I think he's probably going to get some sort of run in the league. I don't know where, but he was really highly touted coming out.
He's one of those guys that I think that could thrive in a league like the UFL.
I agree 100%.
The other move I saw, it was for the Stallions. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I saw it on Twitter. I know. I'm faltering. I'm flustering. That's another Brandon Silver's one. It was earlier today, but the name escapes me because there's too many. You ever have too many names in your head?
Yes, all the time. That's how I live my life.
So that's fair. I guess we all fluster some names every once in a while.
Jim, I don't know if I told you this, but there was a kid I coached. I've been coaching this kid for 4 years. I thought his name was Adam, and I've been calling him Adam for 4 years. I found out yesterday his name was Andrew.
Oh, it was the Stallions getting DeMarcus Gates back. He was awesome.
Okay. All right.
Awesome for them.
Fair.
Also, AJ McCarron's only 33. He feels older than that.
He does feel like an old man.
He's 3 years older than me.
Jim, you're old, dude.
Other than that, so the other deal was this was the last day for teams to cut down roster size.
Okay.
So there's no more cutting until I believe at like the end of training camp. So any team that is at the 75 marker can't get rid of anybody. That's who they're getting. They can't
That's who
add,
they
they
got.
can't get.
That's
So
what they got.
that's why before the show, Eric, I was scrambling trying to find out roster sizes because any team that's under 75 can still add players.
Okay.
But if you're at 75, that's who you got.
Okay.
So that'll be something to kind of keep an eye on. What teams like how many players right now teams are sitting at because there's still some free agents that are floating around.
Mm-hmm. There's still some guys out there. Has my boy King been signed?
Oh, I don't believe so. Where would he be? Let me look up Erik King. He's only 26.
Yeah.
As of now, oh, he's a quarterbacks coach, dude.
Where at?
SMU.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's a QB coach at SMU. Just got announced for this coming year. He's the QB coach. He might just have upgraded to his coaching arc. It'll probably never happen. Do you know who I really would love to get for the UFL?
Johnny
RG3.
Manziel?
RG3.
Johnny Manziel?
No, get him out of any. He's failed everywhere he's been.
Yeah.
Austin Healy in the chat. Spring football feels like when a show has its final season and then a movie for the show comes out.
So Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. Great show.
Great show. Tim Riggins. Riggs.
The other bit of news, Eric, was the rule announcement for the season. We talked about this last week when we broke down the schedule. Now we have the rules. You ready to go through these, Eric? I'll share the link with you in the private chat, but I'll also post them up there for everyone to see.
No.
We have these rules right here. This is the breakdown because I didn't want to go through all the rules, what constitutes a catch, blah, 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 blah. They're keeping the XFL's PAT.
Like it, I go for 3 points every time.
I would go for 3 points every time. And shout out June Jones, who did exactly that for the Sea Dragons last year.
So I have a question.
Ask away.
Let's say I go for 2. And no, that won't work because it'll be half the distance to the goal line. So never mind then.
What were you saying?
I was going to say if there's a penalty, do I get to move it closer? But it's a mute point because it's half the distance. So that doesn't do anything.
It would basically be I think
now,
either one. So if there's a penalty when you go for 2, you basically get to go for 2 from where the 1 point is.
So if I go for 2 for 3 and there's a PI, I would just get it at the 2-yard line for a 3-point.
Probably because it's usually a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So you'd get, if there's a PI, you'd get it right at the 1.
Okay. All right.
But you'd get to go for 3 still.
Okay. All right.
Kickoffs. They're doing basically the USFL kickoff, where kickoffs will look more like traditional, blah, 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 blah. Kickoff at the thing is, though, kickoff out of bounds will give possession to the receiving team 30 yards from the spot of the kickoff, or at the spot where the ball went out of bounds. A kickoff that is untouched by the receiving team may only be recovered by the kicking team up to 20 yards of the spot of the kick. Theoretically, if they kick it out of bounds, you could get the ball on the 50-yard line.
Jesus.
It's not unheard of. Basically, from what I was reading and what a lot of people were kind of digging up, the rules are really, 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 really pushing offense and points.
So let me ask you this. If I'm reading this correctly, if I kick it to you and there's some sort of error and the ball's live on your 10, I can't recover it.
Kickoff that is untouched by the receiving team may only be recovered by the kicking team up to 20 yards from the spot of the kick. That is correct. You could probably down it there.
Yeah, that's it.
But you wouldn't be able to recover it there.
Okay.
Other kicking touchback rules. All touchbacks on kicks, punts, or kickoffs will be placed on the receiving team's 25-yard line. Any punt that goes out of bounds inside the 25-yard line will be considered a touchback and placed at the 25-yard line.
Okay.
So it's the XFL's punting rule, which this one is probably my least favorite one. It was one of my least favorite rules about the XFL. It makes punting so difficult. So instead of a touchback just being punting into the end zone, Eric, it's anything out of bounds or the end zone past the 25-yard line.
It's brutal, dude.
So from the 25-yard line to the end zone, anything out of bounds is
Dude,
a
if you
touchback.
cough and corner it,
If you cough and corner it, no, that's a touchback.
Yeah, it's a touchback. It's brutal.
Yeah, Marquette King was talking about that last year where it's like it's so hard to punt in the XFL.
Yeah, but your comment you made, you hit the nail on the head. They're pushing offense for sure.
They're really, really pushing offense. This, as a Big Ten connoisseur, though, I love a good punt.
A Big Ten connoisseur.
Dude, something about dude, tell me you don't get hyped for like a corner punt.
Well, Michigan State never does it, so I don't know what that feels like.
You've seen some Iowa games.
Yeah, a couple.
It's hype.
A couple.
They're keeping the alternate possession rule so you could go for onside kicks whenever, but in the fourth quarter, if you're behind or tied, you can go for a 4th and 12 from your own 28-yard line.
Okay.
But you can only do it if you're tied or behind in the fourth quarter.
I'd be a dick and go for it every time if they could.
I would do it every time. Could you imagine the Chiefs with this kind of rule?
Oh yeah.
They would never not have the ball.
Dan Campbell with this kind of rule.
Oh, dude. The Lions would be scoring 100 points.
Yeah.
I like this rule a lot, though. We saw it like in perfection a couple times last year.
Yeah, I like it a lot too.
The double forward pass rule, of course, that's still back. Love that. As long as the ball is like behind the line of scrimmage, you could double forward pass it.
I like that.
I wonder if there's going to be some sneaky screens out there that like you use that. I'm hoping for that. Defensive pass interference, just the same as both leagues, basically. It's a 15-yard penalty or a spot foul if it occurred less than 15 yards downfield. Basically, college rules for PI. Instead of just being a pure spot foul, I kind of like that. That's probably like the one nice thing they gave to defense.
But it still doesn't say about what happens if it happens in the end zone.
I think it would just be
at the 1.
No, I mean probably just a 15-yard penalty. Maybe they might end up designating like they did the last year with the USFL and XFL, where they designate like egregious PI and then make that a spot foul. So it'd probably be at the 1.
Okay.
I would imagine. I don't know 100%. Replay reviews, of course, they're probably just going to be in the booth. I hope it's Dean.
I hate Dean.
Yeah, but it's either Dean or Mike Pereira.
Mike Pereira, dude.
I hate Mike Pereira.
Dude, I would love to fucking share a cigar and a solid scotch with Mikey P and just him tell some stories.
Can we get them both in the review booth and arguing about reviews?
And then Gene Saratoga comes in just chilling.
Oh, I'd love that. My dream would be just having what they did in 2020, just have the guy with the Xbox controller at the games.
That'd be solid. I like that.
That was awesome. Coaching challenges, basically the same as the XFL was. You get one challenge. Okay. If it's successful, you don't lose a timeout, but you could challenge anything. You could challenge a spot. You could challenge any ruling, fouls or potential fouls. Okay. Anytime, once during the game. The only thing I would tweak with the coaches challenge, and I wanted to see if they do this in year 2. If you have a successful challenge, it'd be nice to get the challenge back and have an option for a second one.
5,000% with that bad boy.
Yeah, because you only get one the entire game,
which is brutal.
So it's like you gotta really know when to use it.
Yep.
Here's one I didn't read about, and this is me reading it for the first time. I'm very happy. Overtime will consist of alternating attempts to score from the opponent's 5-yard line with no kicks allowed. It will be a best-of-3 format until a winner has been determined. Basically what the XFL did. I think the USFL did this too. Any questions on the rules, Eric?
I just don't get PI. I like the review. Agree with you 100 times about the coaches challenge.
What don't you get about the PI?
If it's the end zone stuff,
the end zone stuff,
that's my only thing. My question to you is, if you win the toss in overtime, so after
it's a best of three regardless.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, after the best of three, does the order reset, or is it always, you know what I mean? Like, in round one, does it go you, me? Then in round two, you know what I mean? Or does it just
I'd have to rewatch the overtimes from last year because I believe they're
just what I'm saying. Like, do we alternate who goes first, or is it just I win the toss and I'm second the whole time?
I'd have to rewatch. I don't know how they did it. I'd have to rewatch some of the overtimes from the XFL last year. I think they rotated.
Okay.
I think. I'm not 100% sure.
Personal fouls. 2 and you're out. 1 and you're out.
I assume 2. I assume maybe you get the 1.
Okay. No, these are pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, most of the rules are pretty just normal. They just kind of highlighted the big changes.
Yeah.
XFL, PAT, USFL kickoff. That's kind of what I wanted. I don't know. Oh, that's something I'm going to have to actually look at the full rule book. So the USFL had the 2-foot inbounds rule. XFL, remember, had the 1-foot inbounds catch.
Why can't you go for an onside kick in the third quarter?
No, you can onside kick it whenever. You just can't do the 4th and 12 play.
Okay.
Whenever. You can onside kick it any time in the game. Only the 4th and 12 from your own 28 can be used in the fourth quarter if you're tied or down.
I gotcha.
Austin Husky. The Battlehawks kicker is the older brother from the Missouri Tigers kicker.
And he can bomb.
Oh, yeah, and Joe Flacco's, was it brother?
Yep, you sent me that. His bro is in the league.
His bro's in the league. I'm excited. After the rules announcements, there's not too much more. We'll be able to do, I think, in the next few weeks, since they'll be done with like full cuts. We'll be do a little bit more of a dive onto some of these rosters.
I would just love to get some betting going.
I'd love to see some lines come out now that we actually have a schedule and rule system. Over under Eric date for when the actual futures get posted.
What's the date? What is the start date?
March 30th is the start date.
March 29th.
I was gonna give it the 18th.
I mean, dude, there's no way, man.
You don't think so? You don't think they do it 1 week before?
Nope.
I think they do. I'm gonna give them the 18th. I'm gonna give books the 18th. That's my cutoff date.
Excuse me, God. I mean, there's nothing, dude. Like, I'm looking right now.
Oh, nothing. Eric, they just announced the rules.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. You got to get stuff out there. You got to start promoting. You know me.
Is it up to them whether they can? Isn't that up to the books whether they place lines or not?
Yeah, but they can't place the. I guess you're right.
Like, I don't know how much the league has to say over what books could do.
If only one of the channels they'd be on had a betting app,
and they could promote stuff on that. Yeah.
If only. Huh?
If only both the channels they would be on.
If only.
I always forget Fox Bet exists.
I didn't even know Fox Bet existed, dude, to be honest with you.
I only see it ever promoted on Fox broadcasts.
I didn't even know Fox Bet existed.
Yeah, it's a thing.
No clue.
It's a
no
thing.
Clue at all.
Eric, before there's 45 days left. Within these 45 days, what is the one thing you're looking to see from the UFL?
Rosters.
Full rosters.
Full rosters.
Yeah, I need full rosters. I need like a super update. I believe I might have found something that kind of has stuff updated.
Okay.
But I don't know how often they update it. I want full rosters. Training camp, I believe, begins next week.
Okay.
Austin Husky in the chat. It's kind of wild that all these teams are either in the Midwest or Southern United States.
Yeah, 100%.
We saw it with the USFL too.
Yeah, I mean they're keeping it, but that does keep travel costs down. So
DC's East Coast.
I know, but there's nothing out west.
No, nothing out west, which is a shame. I think if you put a team out west, I think there's like 3 locations I would go for.
One of them, San Jose,
No,
Portland,
no.
Seattle,
Seattle's one of them. I think Seattle goes hard for sports.
L.A.
No, as biased as I would is how much I like the LA Wildcats. Austin Husky with a hot take. Is DC Southern?
No.
No, DC's East Coast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would go
Tempe.
Seattle. I would go
Tempe.
Seattle. I would go San Diego, and I would go Salt
Reno?
Lake. I go 3
Reno?
S's. No,
Reno.
no.
If I would go west, I'd go Seattle, Reno, and then Tempe.
Ooh, Arizona would be sick.
Or Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The last time there was a spring football team in Arizona, I believe, was the AAF. Same with Salt Lake City.
Okay.
They had the Arizona Hot Shots, I believe it was.
What up, Hot Shot?
I don't remember. I think they were Okay. Geographically, DC's southern. Culturally, it's not. I'll allow it.
I got lost in DC once. I ended up like at the old football stadium. It was great.
Eric, do you think you'll make it to a UFL game this season?
Possibly.
I can promise the people this. I will make it to the championship game.
When is the championship game?
UFL schedule.
June 2nd.
Yeah, I'm making it.
Where's it at?
St. Louis.
It's only a 6-hour drive from me.
It's only like a 8.5-hour drive from me. I'm making it. I'm going. I'm going to the championship. I might go to another game. I gotta work it out maybe with Chase. We might hit up Memphis. But I gotta go to the championship game.
God, I hate driving to St. Louis, dude.
I've never done it.
Oh my God. The Chicago drive to St. Louis is brutal, dude. It is so brutal.
Oh, Jon Snow lives near St. Louis.
Oh.
I gotta go. I gotta go to the championship game, Eric. I live or breathe. I gotta go. For 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Reason number 1, it's the championship game. It's the UFL championship game. How am I not going to go? Reason number 2, and this is the cynical, like very like sad reason potentially.
Mm-hmm.
If the league does fold, I would kill myself if I didn't go to the championship game.
And hopefully they make it to the championship.
Oh, they're going to make it to the championship game, and they're going to make it to year 2, and they're going to make it to year 5, and they're going to make it to year 10.
I mean, Jim,
But just in case, if they don't, and I don't go to the championship game, I will die.
Jim, I'm looking at flights right now.
From Chicago to St. Louis?
I'm looking at flights, big guy.
How much?
Hold on.
You want to look up some flights to Edmonton too, Eric, while you're at it?
Right, student. Oh, dude, what the heck? Dude, all these return flights are brutal, dude.
Oh, just brutal times.
Oh, they just jack up the prices, dude. So, in a perfect world, this is what I'd pick.
So it's what you're saying is it's easy to get into, but extremely difficult to get out of St. Louis.
That is what I'm saying, my friend. 308 to fly to St. Louis is a big no for me. I guess I could take this flight, leave at 5:30, just hang out in St. Louis for a day.
Ooh, I got a good question here, Eric, from the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, I will change my handle to @deadjim if that happens.
170 bucks to do that.
That's not bad. Austin Husky in the chat asks, who do you think each team's biggest rival is? So let's go down the list. I got them right here, starting the USFL conference. The Birmingham Stallions.
All right, I'm a visual guy, Jim. I'm pulling up the teams right now.
Okay.
I'm a visual guy. UFL.
You're a visual guy. I'll
All right, so I think it's this.
We'll start, Eric. Let's start with the 2 champions. Let's start with the Stallions. So the Stallions have an interesting choice here. You could go interconference, but the way that I've seen people chirping on Twitter, I think the Stallions' biggest rival might be the Battlehawks.
Really? Because I think the Battlehawks is DC.
Battlehawks for sure is DC.
Yeah.
And DC's is the Battlehawks. See, Jon Snow, Memphis plus Stallions, because of the drubbing they got last year. Also, I'm going to go with Memphis because a lot of the guys on the Memphis team and the coaching staff and players are from the New Orleans Breakers. And that was the biggest rivalry in the USFL was between the Stallions and the Breakers too. So I'm gonna have the Stallions go with the Showboats.
The Stallions go with the Showboats. Okay.
We both have the Battlehawks and the Defenders.
I mean, to me, Houston, Arlington, and San Antonio are just one big lump.
It's a big trifecta there.
Yeah.
Michigan's kind of the odd one out.
I don't think Michigan will have one just because there's no one that far north, if you will.
St. Louis would be the closest.
But St. Louis is already locked in with DC.
Yeah, but like you can have a rival that they don't consider you their rival.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't feel like the Panthers are kind of alone. They're rivalless.
Rivalless.
I don't know. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for rosters. I'm hyped I'm hyped for the championship game. I'm gonna really try and make it to another game. And no promises, but my goals this year, Eric. UFL game in person, CFL game in person, IFL and AFL, both in person.
Jesus, dude. Jim, you can probably get me for one of those.
You want to hit the CFL?
Oh my God.
Head up to Canada. What's the closest CFL team to you?
Toronto.
Oh, we could go to a fucking Toronto game.
I mean, dude, do we really do it up and hit a Blue Jays game too?
Sure. I love baseball.
Dude, I'm just saying, dude. Why not, man?
It'd be fun.
Do you know the airport code for Toronto?
Nope. When I went into Hamilton, I didn't go through Toronto at all. We drove from Buffalo.
You drove, Jesus, dude. Jim, I hate driving in cars, dude.
I don't understand. I don't love it, but I tolerate it.
All right, I'm loading up the CFL schedule here.
Let's take a look. Which one can we potentially make?
Not a preseason game, Jim.
No, Eric. The opener? You want to go to the opener? May 25th? No. That would be opener would be June 9th. That's a lot of travel back to back to back.
June 9th, that's a little rough for me because that's a big work weekend for me.
What if we do Ooh.
What if we
July 27th?
What about we go to Saskatchewan on July 4th? Oh my God.
Eric, July 27th. Take a look.
That's possible.
That's a good game. That's a really good game.
July 27th. Jesus, dude. Tickets are $370.
Yeah, CFL don't come cheap, I guess.
I mean, if I fly in...
Wait, are you talking about plane tickets?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, how much do you think season tickets are for the fucking Argonauts?
How much?
Starting at $283.
That's not bad.
That's not bad, but that's end zone tickets. So you're sitting like vertical.
See, I could do this. $250 to Toronto, I could do.
Oh, that's great.
$250 to Toronto, I could do.
How much do you think it is for me?
$5.
Probably. What's Toronto's? Oh, Toronto, Ontario, right here. Let's see if we go for those dates listed. What did we say? Did we say July 27th is what we said?
Yep. Dude, and they're home that weekend.
It's only that's why I picked that game.
No, I'm just saying like the Toronto Blue Jays are home that weekend.
Oh, they're home too?
So we could go to a Texas or them play the Texas Rangers on Friday.
That's sick.
And then we can go to the CFL game on Saturday. Jesus, dude.
Okay, let's see. Right here. Flights. Oh, you're right. $5.
Jesus, dude.
I'd pay it. I don't give a fuck. I'd pay it. I got nothing else, Eric. I think that'll do it for this episode.
Dude, we're not going to plan our summer vacation anymore?
Not live for the people. Not live for the people, Eric. Any parting thoughts on the UFL, the rules, anything else before we get out of here?
No. Looking forward to the season. Like I said, I think you and I both agree. I think they should have started this weekend. You get the momentum from the football. Just makes sense to go in there. I think they kind of dropped the ball with that. But how rushed this merger is already, look, it is what it is. This is what you had to do.
Yeah, with like the timing of the merger kind of made it a little improbable to make happen. And guys, they miss out on March Madness, give and take.
Yep.
It's fine.
I got you, bro.
I'm hype. Everyone else get hype. We'll hopefully have some roster talk to do next week. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Spring Fever.